Hello children, we begin today with exercise 5.2 question number 1. In the figure, quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. P and Q are the midpoints of sides AB and DC respectively. Prove that quadrilateral APCQ is a parallelogram. Now, this is how it needs to be done. This is the figure. P and Q are the midpoints of sides AB and DC. You have to prove quadrilateral APCQ is a parallelogram. Now, since you are given quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram, we know side AB is parallel to side CD. That's given. Now, since AB parallel to CD, you can write side AP parallel to CQ. Reason A dash P dash B C dash Q dash D. Next, AB equal to CD. Same reason, because quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Multiplying both sides by half AB equal to half CD. Therefore, AP equal to CQ. Because P and Q are the midpoints of sides AB and CD respectively. So, from 1 and 2, that is, you have AP parallel to CQ, you have AP equal to CQ, you know quadrilateral APCQ is a parallelogram. For a parallelogram, the main condition is one pair of opposite sides should be parallel and congruent, which we have here, and therefore it's a parallelogram. Okay. Next, we go to question number 2 in the textbook, which says, using opposite angle test for parallelogram, prove that every rectangle is a parallelogram. Now, for this, you are given quadrilateral ABCD. We have drawn the figure here. It's a parallelogram. You have to prove. You have a rectangle here. Quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle is given. You have to prove that it is a parallelogram. Now, in quadrilateral ABCD, all angles are 90 degrees. Okay, because it's a rectangle. Now, since all angles are 90 degrees, you can write angle A congruent to angle C, angle B congruent to angle D. Therefore, it's a parallelogram. What is the condition for a quadrilateral to be a parallelogram? If opposite angles of a quadrilateral are congruent, we know then that it's a parallelogram. Therefore, the rectangle is a parallelogram. Okay. Next, we go to question number 4. Now, question number 3 and 5 is omitted for you for this year. We go to question number 4. Now, what does question number 4 say? The question is, now here, I'll read out the question to you. Prove that the quadrilateral formed by the intersection of angle bisectors of all angles of a parallelogram is a rectangle. So, you have quadrilateral ABCD, which is a parallelogram. You are extending the angle bisectors of angle A, B, C and D, and you have a quadrilateral formed PQRS. You have to prove that quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. This is your question. So how do we do this? Now I have done this here in short. I am going to explain to you. So after I explain, I will be uploading the image of all these pages wherein I have done the answers. You will refer to it and write it down in your classwork. Now, since you have quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram and these are the angle bisectors. So, I have written it as A and A because AR is the angle bisector of angle A. Similarly, this is B and B, C, C and this is DD. Okay. Now, if I were to consider this triangle ASD, what do I have? These two angles are A, these two angles are D. Now, since I know ABCD is a parallelogram, angle A plus angle D is 180 degrees. Why? Because adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So, angle A plus angle D is 180 means 2A plus 2D is 180. That means A plus D is 90 degrees, dividing throughout by 2. So, if I were to consider the triangle ASD, I have angle A plus angle D is 90. What does that mean? This angle, that is angle ASD here, this is 90 degrees. Because if these two are 90, sum of all three angles should be 180. So 180 minus 90, this has to be 90. Now if this angle is 90, this is the vertically opposite angle. Therefore, this also will be 90 degrees. So if I consider this quadrilateral PSRQ or PQRS, I have this angle 90 degrees. Now same reason I can say this angle is 90 and therefore this angle is 90. How? Same reason I'll say angle B plus angle C is 180. They are adjacent angles of a parallelogram. Therefore in this triangle BQC, you have B plus C is 90 degree, same like this. Therefore angle Q is 90. This being the vertically opposite angle, this angle also will be 90 degrees. This angle also becomes 90. Okay. Next, what we have to do, same reason. Now consider angle A and angle B. Again, these are adjacent angles of a parallelogram. They are supplementary. 2A plus 2B 180. Therefore, A plus B 90. Now take this triangle ARB. So in triangle ARB, A plus B is 90 means angle R is 90. Same method, triangle DPC. Angle P will be 90 because D plus C is 90, angle P 90. So what have we got? All angles of this quadrilateral are 90 degrees. So is that enough to prove that the quadrilateral is a rectangle? No, because even a square has all angles 90 degrees, right? So how do I prove quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle? Now I know all angles are 90. To prove it's a rectangle, I have to prove that opposite sides are congruent. In a square, all sides are congruent. But in a rectangle, opposite sides are congruent. So I have to prove that. For that, what you do is construction, draw PR as a draw a line connecting P to R. You have two triangles which are formed. Now these two triangles, if I consider, we know that PQ is parallel to SR. What is the reason? See, all angles are 90, so interior angles are supplementary. Therefore, PQ is parallel to SR. Now, if PQ is parallel to SR and if this is the transversal, I know that this angle and this angle are alternate angles and are congruent. Same reason, this angle and this angle are alternate angles and are congruent. This is a common side. Therefore, the two triangles are congruent by ASA test. ASA test. Okay? And hence, side PQ congruent to side SR by CSCT. Same reason, side PS congruent to side RQ by CSCT. So I have all four angles 90 degrees. I have opposite sides congruent and hence quadrilateral PQRS is a rectangle. This is how you have to prove it. Now I have explained it in short over here. I will be uploading the image also. But I hope children you have understood how it is proved. Okay. So that's all for question number 4. We have only 1, 2 and 4 from this exercise. Exercise 5.2, 3 and 5 are not there for you. It is not there in your syllabus for this year. Okay. Now we go to the next topic. Your textbook. In your textbook, page number 67, properties of rectangle, rhombus and square. Go to the next page now. Page number 68. Now here there are few theorems. All of them are important. The proofs have been discussed in very short method. I'll be explaining to you how and you can write it in your classwork. Theorem, first one, diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Okay, this is your theorem. So you are given quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. You have to prove that the diagonals of this rectangle are congruent. Now, you will consider these two triangles CDA and you will consider triangle DAB. When I consider CDA and this triangle DAB, you know that these two triangles are congruent. By which test? See, since it is a rectangle, you know opposite sides are congruent. CD is congruent to AB. You have this angle congruent to this, both are 90 degrees and you have this as a common side. Therefore, triangle CDA congruent to triangle BAD by SAS test. SAS test. Opposite sides, 90 degree angle, common side. So by SAS test, the triangles are congruent and hence the diagonals are congruent by CSCT. Okay, that's how this theorem will be proved. Second theorem, diagonals of a square are congruent. Children, exactly the same method in which the previous one is proved. Okay, by SAS You can do it. Next theorem, diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So you have a rhombus that's given quadrilateral EFGH is a rhombus. You have to prove diagonal EG is a perpendicular bisector of diagonal FH. Similarly, diagonal FH is a perpendicular bisector of diagonal EG. Now how will you prove it? Now suppose let's say we consider this triangle EFH. You are given EF congruent to EH. You know from perpendicular bisector theorem that every point which lies on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant to the two ends. Or the converse, if you have a point which is equidistant from the two endpoints of a line segment, it means it lies on the perpendicular bisector. That means EG is a perpendicular bisector of FH. Same reason, if I were to consider this point F, which lies on FH, this point is equidistant to the two endpoints which lies on the segment EG. That means the line FH lies on the perpendicular bisector of EG. Hence it is proved. This is how you have to do the theorem. Okay. Next theorem that you have, write the proofs. They have told you not to write the proofs. That is not there for you this year. We can go to this particular topic. Remember this. Here all this has been summarized in brief. Diagonals of a rectangle are congruent, what we learnt in the first theorem. Diagonals of a square are congruent. Diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors of each other, we just proved. Diagonals of a rhombus bisect the pairs of opposite angles. What it means is, suppose you have a rhombus like this, you have drawn the diagonal. These two angles will be congruent. Which two angles? These two angles are congruent. These two angles are congruent. This is your diagonal. These two angles and these two angles are congruent because this becomes the angle bisector. Okay. Next, diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisectors of each other. Diagonals of a square bisect opposite angles. See what it means is, suppose I have drawn a square ABCD. I have drawn the diagonals. When I say diagonals are perpendicular bisectors, it means they will form 90 degrees like this and they are also bisecting each other. See, B, suppose I consider this point to be O. It means BO is equal to OD, AO is equal to OC. This side is congruent to this side is congruent to this side. So they are perpendicular bisectors. Similarly, the diagonals bisect the angles. That means these two angles are congruent, these two are congruent. How much is an angle of a square? They will all be 90 degrees and hence all these angles will be 45 degrees each. Okay, that's what it means. Now children, when you write in your classwork, these are the things to be written. After you finish exercise 5.23 questions, you will be writing these theorems with the proof 1, 2, 3 and this what is there in this box. Okay, all these 6 statements you write and then we go to exercise 5.3. So I have explained here in this. I am going to explain to you how to do exercise 5.3. Apart from the explanation, I am uploading the images. You can refer to it and write it in your classwork. Exercise 5.3, question number 1. Now the first question says the diagonals of a rectangle ABCD. This is your rectangle ABCD and the diagonals intersect at the point O. If AC is equal to 8 centimeter, find BO, and if angle CAD equal to 35 degrees, find angle ACB. This is your question. So AC equal to 8 centimeter. We know that the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. So if AC 8 centimeter, BD is also 8 centimeter. We also know that the diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other. So BO is half of BD, therefore this will be 4 centimeter. Okay, I have explained it over here like that. Next, you have been given angle CAD is 35 degrees. Okay, you have to find what is angle ACB. ACB. See, if you look at this, children, AD is parallel to BC because it's a rectangle, because the opposite sides are parallel. If this is a transversal, this angle and this angle are alternate angles. They have asked you this angle and therefore the answer is it is 35 degrees because they are alternate angles. Okay, so this is how the first question has to be done. Question number 2, the question is, in a rhombus PQRS, you have, if PQ is equal to 7.5 centimeter and angle QPS equal to 75 degrees, you have to find angle PQR, angle SRQ, and also what is QR. Okay. Now, they have asked you, they have given you PQ. They have asked you QR. This also will be 7.5. We know in a rhombus all four sides are congruent. So if this is 7.5, all four sides are 7.5 centimeter each. Next, they have given you this angle is 75 degrees. They have asked you what is angle SRQ or QRS. This also will be 75 degrees because opposite angles of a rhombus are congruent. That's one part. Second, they have asked you what is angle PQR. Now we know that a rhombus is also a parallelogram. If a rhombus is a parallelogram, adjacent angle should be 180. So 75 degrees plus angle PQR should be 180. Therefore, PQR is 180 minus 75. Your answer is 105. After you have found out the answers for all they have asked, write all of them properly at the end of it. This carries half a mark. Most of you have not written the last step in your, usually you tend to forget this and therefore you will lose half a mark if you don't write. So any question that is asked, if it has steps like this, now in this case there are 3 steps to be done. After you solve it, what you're solving is right. But after you finish everything at the end, write all those 3 answers separately once again, which carries half a mark. That question might carry 3 marks. This will carry half a mark. Okay. Next we go to question number 3. Very simple question. Diagonals of a square. Now it's a square. IJKL is a square and the diagonals intersect at M. Find the measures of, these are the 3 angles which are there, which you have to find out. Now we know that all angles are 90 degrees. We know that the diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisectors. So first question, angle IMJ is 90 degrees. Reason? The diagonals of a square are perpendicular bisectors. You need to write this. I have written only the values. You have to write the reason for it. The diagonals are perpendicular bisectors. Second, angle JIK. Angle JIK. This is 45 degrees. What is the reason for it? The diagonals of a square are also the angle bisectors. All the angles of a square are 90 degrees. Now since this is an angle bisector, this will be 45 degrees. Same reason, angle LJK is also 45 degrees. Same reason what you wrote for the second one. Okay. So that's question number 3. We go to question number 4. This is question number 4. Diagonals of a rhombus are 20 centimeter and 21 centimeter respectively. Find the side of the rhombus and its perimeter. So here you have a rhombus ABCD. You are given that the diagonal, one of which is 20, one of which is 21 centimeters. You have to find one side and then you have to find the perimeter. So we are given AC is 20 centimeter. Half of it AO equal to OC is 10 centimeter. We know that the rhombus, the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular bisectors. BD is 21 centimeter, the other diagonal. So half of it BO is equal to OD, 21 by 2 centimeter. I have kept it like this because it becomes easy for you to solve. Now you will use Pythagoras theorem. In triangle AOD, AD square equal to AO square plus OD square. So we are using this Pythagoras theorem here to solve. 21 square is 441. 441 by 4, I take the LCM. 841 by 4. AD, I'll find the square root. 29 by 2, which is 14.5 centimeter. So 14.5 centimeter is AD, one side. We know all 4 sides of a rhombus are congruent. So multiply it by 4 to get the perimeter, which is 58 centimeter. Okay. This is how we do question number 4. Now question number 5, you have to just say true or false. First question. Every parallelogram is a rhombus, which is false. Every parallelogram is not a rhombus. Why? Because a parallelogram does not have all 4 sides congruent to make it a rhombus. So it's false. Okay. Next, every rhombus is a rectangle. Rhombus does not have all angles 90 degrees, which is required for a rectangle. Therefore, it's false. Okay. Third, every rectangle is a parallelogram. True. Why? Every rectangle has got opposite sides, parallel as well as congruent. Therefore, it's a parallelogram. Every square is a rectangle? Yes, because all angles are 90, opposite sides are congruent, it's a rectangle. True. Every square is a rhombus? True, because opposite sides are congruent. Or in fact, all four sides are congruent for a square, and all angles are 90 degrees. Okay, rhombus, not necessary all angles should be 90. So every square can be called as a rhombus, it's true. But every rhombus is not a square. Okay. Every parallelogram is a rectangle is false. Every rectangle is a parallelogram is true, but the converse is false. Why? Every parallelogram is not a rectangle because in a parallelogram, not necessary that all angles should be 90 degrees. Right? So it's false. So children, with this we finish exercise 5.3. All questions are done. Please complete your work as we are doing it over here as you observe each day's video. So today we finished with exercise 5.2, the theorems before exercise 5.3, and we have completed all questions. Now after I have explained all these questions, I am uploading the image for you to look at it and write it in your classwork. So you will all complete here till exercise 5.3. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.